Hello, my name is Johan Rooryck. I'm the Executive Director of cOAlition S, and today I will speak about responsible research assessment in the context of cOAlition S and Plan S. Plan S is a set of 10 principles that is designed to transition academic publishing from subscription publishing to open access publishing, to full and immediate open access. cOAlition S is the alliance of organizations that have pledged to align their policies with Plan S, and so as to transition the work of all of their researchers to open access. cOAlition S is an organization consisting of 25 organizations, national European funders from Austria to the United Kingdom. The European Commission is on board with the Horizon Europe framework that will be carried out under conditions of Plan S. We have charitable foundations that are members of cOAlition S. Wellcome Trust, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Howard Hughes Medical Institute, Templeton World Charity Foundations, and Aligning Science Across Parkinson's. We have a global dimension with the World Health Organization, and Jordan, Zambia, South Africa, and African Academy of Sciences are also represented. We coordinate action with various other organizations that work towards full and immediate open access, such as America, Cielo, African Open Science Platform, OA 2020, and have signed the Sao Paulo Statement. And we, of course, carry out coordinated action with Open Access 2020, the organization in Germany that works towards transformative agreements. And we also have coordinated action with the Confederation of Open Access Repositories. What are the principles that Plan S is based on? Well, the basic principle is that research results are a public good, and therefore they should be immediately available so as to accelerate science. That means no more paywall publications. That means also means that open access must be immediate. No embargo periods will be allowed of 6 or 12 months. Publication should be under a CC BY license and no copyright should be transferred. And we also are against the hybrid model of publication. Hybrid model of publication means that a journal in which some content is behind the paywall and other content is open access. That model has demonstrably failed to transition academic publishing to open access, and that's why we do no longer want to fund it. We also find that pricing, contracts, and publication fees should be fully transparent in the interest of openness, and that funders commit to support such publication fees instead of the authors. We do not believe that individual researchers should pay for open access fees. We have now multiple routes to open access compliance, from gold open access over green open access, depositing in the repository, to open access under transitional agreements. All forms of open access are agreeable to us, including Diamond, of course, as well. We also have a Principle 10, which is a commitment to assess research outputs according to their intrinsic merit, and not, specifically not the prestige of the publication channel or the publisher, the journal impact factor, which we believe is an imperfect measure of measuring research quality. Also, various strictly quantitative metrics is something that we do not condone, in accordance, of course, with DORA, the Leiden Manifesto, and the Hong Kong principles that have advocated measures in the same direction. So now, why is it important for cOAlition S and Plan S to think about the assessment system? Well, open access and open science are currently not really part of the incentives and reward system for researchers. A recent study by EUA has found that 75% of institutions use quantitative publication measures and journal impact factor to evaluate research output, and 28% of institutions find open science and access important for research evaluation. That's relatively little. So clearly the system has to change. The reliance on quantitative metrics, journal impact factor, and publishing prestige has to stop, because it leads to researcher competition rather than to openness and collaboration and sharing. And it also favors the traditional academic publishing model and its unsustainable prices for publishing. This is because publishers believe that the prestige of a journal should be associated with very high prices, which is, of course, not a necessary relationship at all. So to achieve full and immediate open access, we need to change the incentive and reward system for researchers. That is crucial. Now, what has cOAlition has done in this regard? We have put together a research assessment task and finish group, and this group shares best practices among organizations for research assessment with a view to aligning these. It also tries to identify priorities for cOAlition as organizations to meet the commitment of Principle 10 for a new reward and incentive system and evaluation system. It also establishes what cOAlition as organizations may want to require of the institutions that they fund. Namely, cOAlition as organizations might want to ask of organizations that they fund to also apply DORA principles in their evaluation of researchers, for instance. And of course, and that's why we're here today, is to advocate the importance of responsible metrics and responsible research evaluation at a global level, and to coordinate action with other organizations that try to do the same. To that effect, the cOAlition as organizations have shared a number of practices, good practices that they have adopted in their organizations, and these should be seen as a basket from which other organizations can pick and choose what is most appropriate for them. So it should not be viewed as a checklist, but these include the following: the request to value a broader spectrum of outputs than just publications, data software, researcher training, for example, to discourage also applicants to grants from mentioning the journal impact factor in their CVs, and also to use narrative CVs, to ask applicants to list open access publications, to limit the number of outputs that are listed for evaluation. So we ask researchers to only list what they think are their best publications and why they think these are their best publications. And we also instruct and advise peer reviewers and evaluation panels on the best way to use metrics, responsible ways of using metrics, and to have attention for alternative metrics. So in conclusion, for cOAlition as open access must become part of the rewards and incentive system for researchers. This requires a full change in the current system of reliance on quantitative metric impact factors and prestige indicators. It also means that cOAlition organizations are committed to applying these new assessment practices in their own grant selection, and to harmonize these across organizations as we see as is required. And finally, cOAlition as organizations will evaluate how they can influence the institutions that they fund to do the same. I would like to stop here, and if you need any, if you have any questions or need further explanation, I'm available via email or for a quick video chat. Thank you for your attention.